Alright, part 2 of the Murray build. As you see today, I added a support X brace in the rear of the chassis to strengthen it. I covered up these big holes in the frame, whether you box them in or channel it like this has been done. There's these big holes in these frame rails, and that's a weak point in the chassis. What I do is take a piece of angle iron, weld it on the inside and then on the outside of the chassis on both sides. And this strengthens the actual chassis up, because this is a part in the chassis that it'll flex and twist. So you weld all that up, you brace that up, it strengthens it a bit. Same thing with the rear cross brace. Up top here, the front axle before had, because the axle's welded on it high, because the chassis comes all the way up here, and you've got about an inch and a half, almost 2 inches of open front axle, front frame here. So I took the cuts I got off the bottom braces, and I cut them down, and I just welded them in to the front here, so when the mower is sitting down, it looks nice and flush with nice little end caps on it. Now on the front of the mower, towards the steering part, let me get the steering real quick and throw this in here. Well, I'll show it to you without the steering. Okay. I added a brace on the inside here to support the steering, and it's basically some pieces of black pipe round with some nice bent square tube, 3/4 square at the top. I'm going to have a Heim joint welded at the top to run my steering through, and then at the bottom I've got a nice piece of 1/4 inch steel plate, which I'm going to drill a 1 inch hole through and put my 5/8 flange bearing through there, and my steering will come through like that. Now if I throw the steering in it, put it through the hole, that's basically how it's going to be. There'll be a Heim way at the top to hold the top of the steering, and a bearing at the bottom, a flange bearing mounted at the bottom to hold the bottom, and the steering will go through the chassis. And then I'll run my bell crank system through this Heim, and I'll weld another Heim underneath there. So that's basically what's going on with this. Kind of ran out of time. I don't have any more parts. I kind of just did all this today with what I had. There's oil everywhere. I had to take the motor off. Got to clean this up. This was all cut out. That'll be cleaned up. I temporarily welded a piece of tubing just to the spindles to keep the front end straight so I could push it in and out. But that's it. Just the frame has been braced now. Everything's been welded. It's got the steering's almost there. Just got to get some parts for it. Other than that though, it's just hooking up the rest of the steering, bolting a seat to the back, putting another brace on there, putting a rear bumper on it, making some chain and jack shaft guards, hooking up my electrical, and we should be good to go. But that is part number 2 of the update on the Super Single. Thanks for watching.